You're listening to Level Up Weekly on Radio Harbor Country. Tune in live on the air at WRHC 106.7 and WRHC 93.5 or on the web at www.radioharborcountry.org. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the world of Level Up Weekly, a bounteous, open podcast filled with amazing loot, legitimately challenging enemies, but not too difficult to defeat, and of course, the EXP. Join our fellow big headphone adventurers Dylan the Dude and Spurnaday as they journey on a quest to find the EXP from gaming news and discussion. Hello everybody, welcome to Level Up Weekly, your weekly XP for gaming news, and it's another beautiful Thursday night. And you're alongside with me, Spurnaday, aka Jordan, aka Jay, aka the best, coolest person you've probably ever met before in your life, aka the Legend 27, although that one's a secret. And alongside with me is Dylan.
AKA Dylan the Dude, AKA Dylan, the Dude, AKA Dylan.
Yeah, welcome. This is our show, Level Up Weekly. We come here every Thursday. We submerge your ears in beautiful, audacious tones from my voice and from Dylan's voice, and we talk about video games. That's what we do here. That's what we love doing here, and it is one of our favorite things we've been doing for goodness gracious way too long, Dylan. This show's been going on for longer than a year.
We have been doing this for so long. Jeez, I mean...
how have you tolerated me for this long? I'm really confused right now.
You know, that's a good question. And to find answers to that and many other questions, I'll tune to our extensive library of podcasts, which you can find on both iTunes and Podbean, and also listen to us live on WRHC 106.7 FM or 93.5 WRHZ FM if you're listening on the local radio.
This is how we plug, guys. We're really good at this. I'm telling you. You're going to be here for the next level content that we put together.
Our little telepathic...
Okay, enough bragging about ourselves, because goodness gracious, we have nothing to brag about here. I'd rather talk about today's news that's been going on because, first of all, I'd like to just offer myself another high five. I know I just said we should stop patting ourselves on the back, but I'm going to give myself one more pat on the back because I learned how to implement RSS feeds into our Slack server. So that means that I now get twice as much news in my feed as I did beforehand. So I do learn about Supergirl's newest movie review off of IGN. I don't read that because it's not what we talk about here. But I do get a lot of other things like Minecraft and Mixer is going to be one of our things we're going to talk about today. Smash 4 and Zero's Harassment. Cloud9 getting $25 million. Paris Games Conference Week was this week. So Sony dropped a couple bombs on us. So it's going to be pretty hype.
As a fun note for all of you listeners about this new way that we get our news, it was really funny because when Jordan here was setting that up, he sent me a message saying, "Yo, check what we do with where we put all our stuff," which we're not going to say. And I see 200 something news stories, and I'm like, wow, Jordan's really ambitious for this next episode.
Yeah, that's exactly what I planned. We were just gonna cover everything. Listen, I know we only have an hour, Dylan, but I hear if we just read all of the articles and just have no emotion into it, we can make a really good show out of this.
Quick, let's put every article to the tune of Billy Joel's "We Didn't Start the Fire" and just rattle them all off through an hour.
Hold on, let's test the theory. No, I can't do that because technically how we put these together is that I can't explain this. This is secrets, guys. Whatever. We're not here to talk about our internal conversation. We're here to talk about Twitch and Spoopy emotes. We're here to talk about Minecraft because who else doesn't talk about Minecraft except literally most YouTubers nowadays in the gaming industry?
Twitch emotes, Minecraft, Cloud9 gets paid.
Wow. I could have just done that too. I don't know why I went to Slack. You know what? Listen, sometimes...
Zero goes and get harassed. Last of Us Part 2 is released. Yeah.
All right, cool. Everyone go follow Dylan on Twitter for that one because he needs people. Anyway.
Yeah. When I drop my mixtape. Yeah, that's where it'll be at.
Welcome to Level Up Weekly. We sometimes try to talk about news. I can't take that from co-optional podcasts. That's not allowed. So anyway, First of all, before we like really touch on to the news, I do want to just talk a little bit about like what we've been doing this week. Before this point, Dylan, I'm gonna let you have the floor. If there's anything amazing that you've been doing lately, like playing Destiny 2 without me or anything like that, you should let me know.
Well, I played Destiny 2 on someone else's computer. It's a fun game. It's Destiny. It's Destiny. Better than Destiny 1, at least more polished, in my opinion.
It at least has a story that you can follow for more than 20 minutes.
Exactly. It's not some convoluted, oh, you're this. Oh, wait, no, now this is happening. No, like, it's much better in the transitions. However, the games I have been playing a lot more lately, and we'll talk probably more about it later on in the show, and definitely next week, is Overwatch. I no-lifed Overwatch for
it was the new season.
Yeah, the new season, which awesome. So you in Overwatch you get 10 placement games, and that kind of determines where you'll go. I won the first one, was off to a great start. The second one I got a draw and was thinking, okay, it's gonna get better from here. Lost 8 straight games in a row.
Oh, all right, cool. So you should have played with me. I don't know why you waited that long, Dylan. You could have just texted me and be like, "Yo, dude, I need that carry."
And it still put me at 2,400 solid gold, almost platinum.
Wow. I don't really know if that's considered an accomplishment technically.
Well, because 90 or I think it's 78 to 80% of players are below platinum. So it put me towards the upper end of that. So if I can break into platinum, I'll be relatively happy for what little time I actually do put into Overwatch throughout my school semester.
I just keep myself at a competitive advantage by playing Rocket League. I'm still like the top 0.6% of players in that game right now. So I'm just going to keep it like that and have some fun with it. So that's why I don't play Overwatch that much. Which reminds me, that's what I've been covering is just a lot of Rocket League. The Spoopy update that came out for you Spoopertons out there. I'm going to stop saying spoop because it's kind of getting annoying. And plus, the date that we're recording this is post Spoopy time. So I think we can go into...
Spooky's House of Jump Scare.
Oh, gosh. And, well, anyway, Halloween was Halloween for me. I didn't do anything special. You dressed up as Goku, and then I made a meme out of you.
Yeah, everyone I showed that meme to got big, wide grins on their face. It was definitely the meme of the year. It was definitely the meme of the holiday.
If you'd like a picture and you wanted to turn it into a meme, you just hit me up. I can usually turn those into... I have this app on my phone that just turns it into a meme if I'd like to. I just type in the text, and then it's like, all right, there you go. There's your meme. So, yeah, can you tell I have a life, guys? I can't either. It is what it is.
Speaking of lives, are you good with your games, or do you want to kind of roll on into our news?
No, I think the only thing I got to say is I've also just been like learning the life of Wildlands, but that's an older topic. We don't have to go back into that. So, yeah, I see where you want to walk with this though. So first of all, happy post Spoopy time, Dylan. We no longer have Twitch scary emotes, as in the what face turning into a zombie, or the hey guys into a zombie, or the was a Kappa also was haunted.
Yep.
Dan's game I think also was impacted as well. And what's weird is you could get this by getting a Twitch crate by paying a certain amount of bits. I think it was 500 to get a crate that have one of those emotes in there. Then you could, if you wanted to, cheer a couple thousand, I think it's 5,000 bits. You do 5,000 bits, and then you're allowed to get one of your emotes of your choice, to my understanding.
Do you know what the current exchange rate for bits are, like as they relate to real life, like US dollars?
Yeah, pretty much like this. 250 bits is like $2-3, something like that. It's a smaller amount. But I do know that in my notes I have it that 5,000 bits cost you $64.40. So it's a lot of bits.
Pretty expensive, but
hey, $64 for a spooky emote? I mean, why not? Am I right?
I mean, it's so strange. Did you ever see, because you and I both grew up while Twitch was kind of evolving and kind of becoming what it is today. Did you ever think that Twitch would be making money that way?
Man, I never realized that emotes would become such an important character of like my Twitch experience. A great example I could use is the Twitch Presents situation lately with the Yu-Gi-Oh marathon.
Oh, Lord, that is a...
Guys, I just would like to say this. If you get a chance, and I don't think they do offer this, but if they do, cool. If not, it's still showing now. The Twitch Presents is currently doing the Yu-Gi-Oh marathon, and I think my favorite part out of all of it just is the mere fact that when someone rolls a trap card and then someone traps that trap card, or just something that they just bait them into something, everyone just puts the jebaited emote in there. And it's my favorite thing to just see an entire line of just the same face go down and be like, ha ha, got him.
It's insane. It's insane.
It's like watching a broadcast with a bunch of people who just want to do nothing but meme. It's like watching it with a bunch of no-life people, but then it's the most fun part is because they have no life, they'll just go and do stuff like that. Like when the ads came in, they're like, guys, you're ruining my ad experience by putting in Yu-Gi-Oh! Come on, guys.
Yeah, because the ad experience would just be like little Yu-Gi-Oh! Clips in like a little square, and then like, we'll be right back. And
yeah, that's the pro of having Twitch Prime, by the way. Is I never got any of those ads, and I was kind of upset with myself because I kind of wanted to stop seeing that after a really long time.
I mean, I always enjoyed the little jam. Like every time I would come back to it and unmute it because I would have it like playing in the background, I would unmute it and I hear that little jam, and I'd be like, huh. Yeah, this is what Twitch Prime's giving me.
I love the better Twitch. I love the better Twitch emote that is Sour Please, where there's a guy that's just dancing around in a grocery store and he's just jamming out in all these different ways, shapes, and forms. When the introduction song comes on, so everyone's like, "Y'all move!" There's just all of these emotes going in. Oh my gosh!
Did you hear the rumor about what Twitch Presents is going to do next?
No, I didn't.
Well, I heard a rumor that because of the success of them, that they were going to do a different franchise or a different series. So I heard ideas that they were either going to do Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, like if they were going to continue with Yu-Gi-Oh! Or they might go out and try to get a lower tiered franchise. One that I heard that they might get is Code Lyoko.
Lyoko! Wow, thank you, Dylan. Damn, I really wanted to do that myself, but all right.
Could you imagine the Twitch chat during that?
Oh my gosh. I just kind of want to watch my old cartoon shows with fellow Twitch viewers now every time that I see that. So
it's been a strangely good time. I'll admit.
It's been so much fun. Like I genuinely enjoyed just like watching different situations, and then also the amount of times that they told Taya that they should that Yugi and Taya should just finally hit shit. And I was like, guys, this isn't like, I know you many of you may not have girlfriends. Maybe many of you do. I don't know. But can we just stop trying to ship them every time? I feel like if this was going to be a Pokemon marathon, that's all they would say between Ash and Misty.
You know, there's been less...
Or Dawn.
There's been less Kaiba and Yugi shipping than I would have expected by a Twitch chat.
I don't know, man. I guess it just depends on their own personal preferences. But safe to say, if Code Lyoko or Ed, Ed, and Eddie, I don't know why Ed, Ed, and Eddie would appear in there, but let's just say and be hopeful that it happens. If one of those two shows did show up in Twitch Presents, I would just like to dedicate this next line to anybody that at Twitch that's watching this. Yeah, guys, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to need a note from you that says that I'm going to be sick for the entire week. Like, I'm just saying right now, I'm not liable if something happens.
Because that's an experience we couldn't miss.
Oh, dude, I can tell you this right now. I've watched Code Lyoko's like old history maybe 3 whole times or something like that. So from beginning to end, and that's like 120 something episodes. So safe to say, I've always enjoyed Code Lyoko. That's my childhood right there.
So Twitch doing great stuff with their. Of course, we started talking about the emotes, and then we got into the Twitch Presents thing. But
this is still a good transition, though.
Yeah. But speaking of one last thing on Twitch, did you happen to have a chance to catch the Overwatch World Cup?
Yeah.
Or any bits of-
the new spectator mode that Overwatch put in, good work. It's a little bit easier to watch now. Plus, the different dynamic colors are slick. I like the new colors. They're different from what you normally see in these competitions, so I give them props for that.
Did you see the what their cap viewership was between Twitch, the BlizzCon virtual tickets, and
Uh,
other markets?
I know 130 was their Twitch count. I don't know what the whole count was.
Well, during the USA versus South Korea, which was expected to be one of the biggest matchups in the tournament, the Twitch chat itself got to 247 thousand.
Yeah, it's so crazy
And then
stuff.
with the BlizzCon virtual ticket viewers and other little networks that aired BlizzCon, it got over 500,000 viewers total,
Yeah,
like around 500,000. That is insane for an esports tournament.
for sure. I mean, it's Overwatch. They put a lot of money into that situation, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
It's time for Minecraft.
Now
Yes.
this is really fascinating here. So, what do you really know about Mixer?
It's a platform that Microsoft basically replaced its old platform with, which now I don't even remember the name anymore. That's how sad it is.
It used to be. Remember, we did
Beam.
a
It's Beam.
Beam.
Yeah, I
Yep.
remember now. But yeah, Mixer is just an interactive streaming platform. They really try to push their audience to be more interactive with the streamers on hand. So in for example, during E3, they showed clips that they wanted to integrate an esport into it that would alter the playing style of the game. Some other stuff like that. Pretty much, their design is to try to make a truly interactive experience with game streams. And apparently,
And
that's all that I needed
yes,
to know.
yeah, that's the main basic of it. And one thing that Mixer is known for that people like about it a lot is its very low latency, as well as what, like you said, getting the closer streamer viewer experience. And with this new integration for Minecraft, it seems like we're getting that to the 10th degree. So you play more Minecraft than I do. Can you explain kind of what this would do if you decided to go on your own personal channel? Sort of.
I can keep this pretty chill. It basically it allows you to put together Minecraft streamers that can integrate any command into the game into their stream for the viewers. So like, for example, say you integrated a spawn command for zombies. I don't know why you'd give that to your viewers because that would be a troll alert, but just say it happens. They would allow that to be used in chat for people to then spawn zombies or other creatures into that mix. So then they could maybe alternate, like say they were going in their cavern and all of a sudden, they had a horde of zombies come after them or something like that. That's what this is designed for, so that you can make it so that you tailor your streamer's adventure to be a little more unique, to be something that they didn't expect. Like, for example, someone spawns 5 zombies ahead of you before you end up going down into a lava pit, or something in that work that follows underneath that type of category.
So do you know if this would be a 1-to-1 correlation? Like every one viewer that does this spawns one zombie, or would it be if 5 people do it, one zombie? Or do you know? Is there anything like that kind of in the works, or is it just 1-to-1?
What I know for sure is that based on the article that I read through on Game Informer, it was saying how that it was really just going to be like what Twitch does in like Twitch plays Pokemon or Twitch plays PUBG, where they allow inputs to enter in. There really isn't a cost to putting in an input. It's just going to be, if someone says spawn 5 zombies and someone says spawn 5 zombies, then they'll technically spawn 5 zombies each, assuming that the server can properly handle that. So that's to my understanding. I'm sure that because Mixer is another platform that kind of just like gives you a fake currency to also use too, to like add extra things. So like your viewership adds you like +5 points to something. You can use those points to then redeem it for something else. So maybe someone will save up and then wait to use them later. So it's probably going to be an incentive thing to viewers as well.
And that's very interesting because Do you think we'll ever get kind of the perfect, like a perfect game to link the streamer actions and the viewer actions together? Like, this sounds like it's a
If
good
everyone would
step in the
stop
right
being
direction.
stupid trolls, yes, I would agree with you immensely. And the reason I say that is because, quite frankly, I could imagine some pretty stellar experiences going on. You know, even in the Twitch Plays Pokemon adventure that happened years ago, you got to realize that when that still happened, there was a lot of people that were like, okay, everybody, we're going left. Okay, we're going right. Sounds good. There's going to be those people that are going to put something on your plate that you're just not going to be a big fan of. And
All right.
the plus
Let's go
is
into-
that your streamer can kind of choose to what exactly they're going to allow, because they can put in what specific commands can go together. So, like, for example, you know, if he really wanted to, you could make it that they could change God mode and see if they wanted to make it from survival to God mode, which would be torturous, because if you were flying and they turned it back into survival mode over like a desert, man, you guys are hurtful.
Yeah, that'd be mean-spirited as heck.
I would be very disappointed with Twitch chat, but it'd also be really funny to watch.
I mean, I'm really hoping that this sets a good precedent for other games in the future, because this interactivity just sounds like a tremendous opportunity for Mixer and Twitch, who's been doing it for a while, but not quite to this level. So I'm really excited for this, and might start watching more things on Mixer, as I will admit, more of a Twitch guy myself, but Mixer is definitely doing some interesting things with their super low latency, and now integrating this with Minecraft.
Well, Microsoft's really trying to push their foot in that door, and one of the things right now that we're seeing is that Twitch has a really big hand on that market because they've kept going with what they do. I mean, how many major events are being hosted on there? How many major key streamers are currently on the Twitch platform? How many people have been built up over the years, have gone into it? A really good example I could use is, as weird as it sounds, Vimeo versus YouTube. As weird as it seems, you know, YouTube was there originally, Vimeo pushed afterward, and a lot of people didn't push the Vimeo, even though the UE interface was supposed to be way cleaner than it was for the YouTube interface. And yet most people kept to YouTube because that's where their audience was. That's where their main content creators were. And so
It's what they were most familiar with.
exactly. And so when we see people in this avenue where Twitch and Mixer are fighting each other, you know, Mixer doesn't have that big guy. They just have a lot of really cool features. And until someone, in my opinion, pulls themselves from Twitch and goes over to that platform and causes a form of controversy that's going to be reported in the news, I don't think I'm going to see Mixer really blow up along with Twitch. But that doesn't mean that there can't be something that they're going to integrate in the future that may put them up in an avenue where Mixer streamers start becoming more recognized.
Yeah, like Mixer really does need someone kind of like Dr. Disrespect or
just generally name people that are popular Twitch streamers. I mean, Tim the Tatman, Summer1G, Soda Pop, and Forzen, Dr. Disrespect, as you said before. For me personally on Rocket League, there's people like Chronovi and Johnny Boy, and there's other people that have this platform that they already own on that system. If they transferred over to that area, they wouldn't have the whatever amount of followers that they'd have. For example, like Summit, I think just hit like 1 million followers. Do you really think he wants to move over to Mixer, even if they bought out, if this was applicable, if they bought out the contract that they put underneath there for Twitch? Not likely, because that's a big move. So you really can't move someone over unless you really do tick someone off. But Twitch is continuing to do smart things. They're not trying to be the YouTube right now who is getting their butt kicked because AdSense is tearing them down.
That is very true. And of course, until they get that kind of bigger name, or it's kind of like when you have a big star of some sort going to something else. Like if you have like Dwayne The Rock Johnson going from what he was really popular with to movies, and now if he does anything else, he'll bring his brand of followers, his audience with him. That would be kind of what people on Mixer would need to do, move from Twitch or even YouTube, just somewhere else where they have an established base, where they can move it over and try to take advantage of some of this new stuff. And I do think there's definitely stuff that can be done with these new Mixer integrations, but time will tell to see where that goes.
You know what does make me laugh though, that now that you've made me think about YouTube, is that a lot of YouTube gamer videos, gameplay commentators. There we go. Sorry, I couldn't think of the term that we use for them. Those kind of people, what we've realized is that they don't really try to move over to Twitch as much. That is on the bigger side of things. And what I could reference is people like, say, Markiplier. They continue to still stream on YouTube. It could be because they prefer that platform, but in my honest opinion, I could just imagine that they're like, hey, you know, maybe we don't want to push people over to Twitch. So I'm sure YouTube sent in an email, I'll be like, hey, you're really good at gaming. Please don't go over to that platform, please.
That could be entirely possible.
So, well, we'll say that for another time. That's something that may unveil more in the future and we'll be able to talk about, but I don't think we have enough concrete evidence to see, you know, Twitch really kind of falling from its major avenue right now. So anyway, Microsoft and Minecraft's cool, but you know what else is cooler? Cloud9, because they have one of the best logos you've ever seen in your life. Good job, graphic designer. The guy that now probably is currently making millions because of that design. Because now your company just got $25 million in funding from a bunch of big name people.
And who were some of those big name people, Jordan?
Good people. Does that help?
Well, I mean, I know one of them was sponsored by Rocket League, and a very near and dear to my heart as well, and probably the most surprising contributor to this. But to note, it's not all just one group. This is $25 million that was kind of put together by multiple people and companies, and then kind of together to Cloud9 rather than individual. But some of these names are really interesting ones. You have it in the headline here says probably the two bigger ones or the two most say what names to see. But $25 million in funding coming from the World Wrestling Entertainment, also known as WWE, Pence, and others, according to this. But so yeah.
Jeez, Dylan, you can't even read two bullet points underneath it. Come on, man.
No.
You're killing me.
The WWE one's the one I mostly wanted to, and that's what my rock transition was for. But
no, to clarify, Rocket League had its team sponsored recently, yeah. But the weird thing that was interesting to me was finding out about this is that, yeah, like you said, $25 million was a collection of different contributors, people like you said, WWE, Beverly Hills Sports Council, Monumental Sports and Entertainment co-owner Ralph Fernandez, Creative Artists Agency co-founder Michael Ovitz, venture capital firm Founders Fund, and a joint investment from tech investors David Sachs and Bill Lee. And of course, Pence referencing to the baseball player, and I don't remember his first name now, unless I already read it. I probably didn't read it.
Yeah, I mean, that is clickbait if I've ever seen it.
Heck yeah. No, gosh, now I don't remember his stinking name. I'm upset at myself. But anyway, if I find it again, I'll pull it up. But the organization had sought additional funding to help offset franchise fees that could really hit about 30 million bucks. So, you know, franchise fees, talking about like their Overwatch team, their, if needed, Rocket League team, League of Legends, CSGO, all their teams that they put together, even if I understand correctly, their Smash team or Smash players as well. It really just puts together a lot of their different fees that come into it from their actual organization. So as if you didn't know, they recently acquired that London spot in the Overwatch League and reportedly, was awarded a place in the newly franchised League of Legends Championship Series and continuing its presence in the league since it was in 2013. So fourth straight year for them that they've been rolling that stuff through.
And of course, again, kind of like when we mentioned how Twitch has kind of evolved as, you know, we've grown up. Did you ever think that pro gamers or a pro gaming team like Cloud9 would get this kind of support and sponsorship?
You know, I think I put this best in the history of what I saw recently on Twitter. It was a guy by the name of Paul Schauner. He goes by Red Eye. He is a well-known sports commentator. He's been pretty much one of the OGs, to say the least, in this avenue. And he was showing how he was shoutcasting off of like a really vintage laptop for, gosh, what game was it? I don't remember even what game it was back then. It might even been Quake for all I know. But he was casting it on a like regular stand microphone with a laptop sitting on like almost looked like a coffee table. There wasn't any video going to him. It was just the audio fed right through to a broadcast, and after that it was just off of his like, I got 512 megabytes of RAM type of system. So, or at least it looked like it in the picture. I don't really know what the specs were, but like to see where organizations have now moved into that business for esports is so really cool to see, because obviously where the companies profit a lot from themselves, they then try to give back a lot to their players and to give them exposure and be able to travel them out to different places and to hook them up with the best gear possible, and to finally start seeing some stabilization and seeing over the years how esports became people's careers is a great thing to see. And Cloud9 is one of those people, along with Echo Fox, kind of along with Energy. They came in later to that mix, but they're still big, alongside with G2 and some other major avenues. It does me proud that I see those companies really do what they do for some of their players, and also to be able to have this type of success.
And I mean, myself, I used to watch some of the tournaments that they aired roughly 10, almost 15 years ago, to even think about it, on G4. And even then, these guys weren't making that much money. It was even interviews with them would say that they were kind of just scraping by. They were only doing it because this is their passion, their goal. Now you can make a pretty decent career as a pro gamer if you're, good enough and you set your heart to it. And just getting $25 million in funding from a few organizations, that's more than I think they would have ever dreamed of back 10, 15 years ago.
I agree. It is cool to see where it's moved on to. And that's kind of one thing that's made me proud about seeing what esports has grown into for myself. Kind of being one of those people that entered into esports by Rocket League, and really seeing how a base of an esports has started and continued to grow and expand and evolve from the way that it has done it itself over its time. But anyway, speaking of professional gamers, this one is crazy, by the way. I gotta say this real quick. This is kind of messed up, man. I've never personally gotten any of these types of, verbal threats before, but I would definitely not be the last one to say that people like this just need to get caught real quick and just need to just get out of here.
It's really criminal, but tell the story.
I have to tell the story.
Fine, I'll tell. No,
I got it, Dylan. You already told me to do it. Jeez, don't make us seem like we're like an angry couple. Then it just gets weird.
You didn't take out the trash.
Yeah, you're right. Anyway, for those of you that know who Gonzalo Barrio is, aka Zero, who was considered lately the #1 Smash 4 player in the world based off of his recent performances in his tournaments. A few days prior to September, in the 2016 tournament, Barrios had read an Instagram comment that really kind of threw him off guard here. The anonymous commenter threatened to go to Santa Ana Esports Arena with a gun and put a bullet through Barrios, who was recently crowned the top Smash Wii U player. Yeah, he didn't take that comment lightly, because when he went to this event, he takes a private bodyguard with him now, wherever he goes.
Doesn't it suck that that's the reality of these tournament settings, is that you can't even trust that there is good security there, that you actually have to bring a private bodyguard?
Well, I mean, we got to be honest. What has happened to spark security to be high? You know what I mean? Like, if I was a business guy, as funky as this sounds, how often do we think about that? Like, what type of major gaming convention events have we seen where something major has happened? A mass shooting, or someone causing a massive illness. I don't know, just something that is just like a crazy thing that's occurred over it. And that's something that people don't really realize that can still happen. And yeah, we had that one incident at a convention, I think this was 2 years ago, or if not a year ago, where the guy had said that he was going to come to the convention and shoot everybody up, and he had like a backpack worth of different weaponry in his bag, and someone kind of pulled him like right away. but that was really the only thing that we saw before. And that's the internet of trolls. And we see people that say that all the time, and it's kind of scary, especially in female journalism, man. Like that's kind of the sad part, in my honest opinion.
Well, it's hard to really tell because even if these people are just trolls trying to intimidate or insult, just do it online and then have no intention of actually acting on it, you really don't know anymore, especially after in these last 3 or 4 years here in the U.S., shootings at public places or public events have just skyrocketed in frequency.
Right.
So it's really hard to take this as just a bad joke on the internet now because you really never know who's going to do it.
For like those of you watching, I seriously encourage you to do this. Go and like do some Google searches about how female journalism is impacted in the gaming industry, because there's a few people that were video game journalists, females, who during this is, oh gosh, what's the name of that event? Was it Dawngate?
Yeah, Dawngate.
What I'm thinking of? Was that the name of it?
You mean of the whole controversy or of the actual event?
Well, it was talking about. Anyway, I'm sorry. I won't tie myself back. But anyway, when you look at female journalism, that's one of the things that you saw is that people will really try to press them a lot harder on the internet and be like, "Shut up! Your opinion is irrelevant, and who cares about what you say?" And all of this really, really hurtful stuff. And
Gamergate.
Thank you, Gamergate. Okay, I couldn't think. I thought it was Dawngate for some reason.
No,
sorry.
Dawngate was an online battle arena free-to-play game.
Oh, cool. Good job, me. Sorry. To get back on it, that's what's scary is there's a lot of times where people will be like, kill yourself, or say something that's really rude, rash, irrational, harmful, violent, just a whole slew of things. And sometimes you think that they're just being a troll and just being like, ha ha, you suck, you should not exist anymore. And then there's some people that will say, I'll take my 9mm and I'll see you tomorrow. And that's the scary part, is that you don't know if that's a legit comment or not. So then you have to do what Zero does and be like, all right, I need a private bodyguard for this kind of situation, because I know if I go to this event, even if I told venue, hey, someone told me this, they're going to be like, all right, we'll just keep an eye out. But what are you going to do when it actually happens?
And that's crazy. And of course, this was just one little instance, but it's not the only one that Zero's had to put up with. There have been some tournaments and some events where Zero has admittingly had to use strategies that most people wouldn't consider the most clean or the most legitimate, including running down the clock and a few other things. But so, getting these comments online, I'm reading some of them right now. A lot of them are very profane and very kind of scary, because if he ran into fans like these or people like these, if I was him, I really could fear for my safety. So it's just it's not even an isolated incident. It's just when you're the best Smash 4 player or the top rated Smash 4 player, stuff like that's going to happen to you, and it's really hard to kind of judge how it's going to, how to handle it or not.
When you're the biggest kid in the cul-de-sac, it is more likely that people will go after you in numbers rather than just go after you out of random whim. So, yeah, not really to use a weird cul-de-sac reference for that, but that's kind of how that thing rolls. But
you really want Twitch Presents to play Edda and Eddie, don't you?
Yes. Let's just be honest. But anyway, Zero, if you somehow miraculously hear this, I really hope that everything goes well for you, man, and that you don't get that kind of treatment. Also, next time I see you, if I do see you, I will make sure to give you a hug of sympathy. Not actually sympathy, because I didn't experience it before, of empathy. Actually, I'm not even going to give you a hug for that situation. I'm just going to give you a hug because you're just an awesome Smash 4 player. And dang it, if I can't beat you with the Mario, my life sucks. So,
well, Well, do you know what he could do for all to all of his haters? What he could say to all his haters?
He could just put a big giant zero on the camera and then be like, "That's you."
No, I was saying he could take the Jake Paul angle of it.
No, stop it. I'm banning you from this freaking channel. Anyway, anyhow, the next thing we got on here is talking about PlayStation Paris Games Week, and let me tell you. I'm happy.
Hype is real.
I'm happy. But I'm also scared at the same time, because first thing on my list of things that happened in Paris Games Week that I thought was relevant was The Last of Us Part 2's trailer. First of all, Dylan, both you and I have seen it. Let's go through our thoughts. I'll start because I want to. Wow. What? And okay. I do the WWO. Wow, what? Okay. Because, like, man, you're gonna go with your female hero, which isn't surprising. They tend to do that in these sequels, but right out the bat, like hanging a rope to her and almost hanging, and just being saved by someone. I'm just kind of curious where they're gonna walk with this, to be honest with you.
Well, they've announced that both Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson are coming back to play Joel and Ellie, so you know for a fact that they're probably going to be more in the game. I'm not sure if Joel is going to be the primary character as, you know, he was in the other game. But they also have an unnamed character played by voice acting legend or prominent voice actress Laura Bailey.
Whoa, hold up.
Yes.
Get out of here. IGN, I hate you. I muted an ad and it still played the stinking sound. What are you doing, IGN?
It's fun.
I'd like to just say I'm kind of upset at IGN right now. So, anyhow, sorry about anyone that just heard the stinking chomp. It just happened.
PlayStation. But yeah. So who knows? It could be Joel. It could be this new unnamed character. It could be any of the new announced named characters, Yara, Lev, Emily, and I can't find the name of the other one, but those are 4 new characters that will be in The Last of Us Part 2. And holy cow, what a great way to highlight your press event by The Last of Us Part 2.
Let's point out how beautiful the cutscenes looked, by the way. Also, let's also point out how ripped Ellie was. My goodness. Like, her arm is probably the size of half of my forehead, and that's not good. So, holy cow.
Like I thought I had a weird reaction when I saw Clementine aged up for the
oh my
the
gosh,
Walking Dead.
In the New Frontier. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel.
But man, seeing Ellie here was like, whoa.
Yeah, you know that she's going to be like a legitimate fighting character in this one. So I think it's going to be cool to see a female protagonist really portray that like strong role in this one.
Not just like throwing bricks to get the attention of zombies or anything, like actual combat.
You know, I'm really curious how much they're going to enhance this combat, by the way. They have a big opportunity to change it. You know, I think they're going to stay with their stealth element. I think they're going to stay in that same realm. But I think they're going to be able to move those controls to make a lot more sense why people would move in certain directions that they do.
Yeah.
Other than that, just like... it's going to be an interesting one. So I can't wait. I'm going to be playing it. Don't worry. I'm going to be playing it. It's going to be great. I hope that you're ready for it, too, because I'm ready. Also,
I'm ready.
I'm still really mad at IGN for playing that ad. When I muted...
PlayStation.
Like, for goodness gracious, I have an ad block on that system, and then 3 other videos popped up, and I'm like, okay, I'm not happy about this.
The AI is learning, Jordan. It is finding ways to get past your ad block.
That's not a good thing, man. They can't learn about that kind of stuff. They can't know what I block. But anyway, the other one that came out was Far Cry 5. That's Far Cry 5. I really don't care. It's just another Far Cry game that's going to play underneath an advanced system that it's like, well, whoop-de-doo, there's cool things that you can do.
I mean, it's not fair to keep that mentality for everything because, like you said earlier, you've been playing a lot more of Ghost Recon Wildlands. And after having the somewhat lackluster release of The Division, if going into the same mindset of that to Wildlands would have been kind of criminal because Wildlands is actually a very solid and fun game.
You know what's crazy is I put like almost, I think it's like 50 hours into that game, and yet I have not beaten it yet. And it's not because I've been sidetracking stuff. It's just because that they build so much content to the game. So, okay,
so much
I see where you're coming from. I respect it. It's kind of. I'm just kidding. But I don't have too much to talk about it, to be honest with you, because Far Cry 5 still has more to come out before I really go into it. I mean, for my Destiny 2 fans that are watching right now, congratulations. You guys got your expansion pack shortly after the game was released. Good move. Just kidding. Then we have the guys who made the infamous game, Ghost of Tsushima, who's making a new game that's going to be going down. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that will be. And out of all the announcements that happened at this event, while definitely the big one is the Last of Us Part 2, it's really, I was not expecting the Far Cry 5. I didn't really care too much about it. I was expecting some sort of Destiny 2 news, but really almost everything else there was just really pleasant surprises to me. Like, I wasn't expecting to hear much about these.
Now GameSpot does it to me? Why does everyone have PlayStation ads all of a sudden?
We're talking about PlayStation. It's perfect timing. It knows.
This is getting scary. This is getting scary,
as we're recording
guys.
our podcast, it knows.
Like, guys, we're not sponsored by PlayStation. Please get out of our videos, please. We just talk about you. You can talk with us when you sponsor us. Just letting you know. But anyway, like, I just want to, I agree with what you're saying, though, that Paris Games Week, like, press coverage wise, I didn't realize happened until 2 or 3 days before it was supposed to go down. I was like, wait a minute, what is this? Paris Games Week? What is this? And then they ran through their whole slew of announcements, and I'm like, where has this been? This is like a miniature E3 for Sony specifically.
Thanks, Slack, because Slack is what brought it to my attention. With the
You're welcome. I fix things.
Yes, of course, the 270 something messages.
You
really
just gotta
did give me
filter through and just look through and just find the highlights, man. You gotta know how to pick and choose. How do you think I became the producer of this show?
Let's see. Big news. Ooh, Stranger Things. Big news.
Yeah, see what I mean? Like, you guys don't know my struggle. How much I have to read through and be like, oh, Supergirl review. No, thank you. What's the next one? Oh, Last of Us trailer? I like Last of Us. Let's do it.
Yeah, that's newsworthy.
Yeah, it's not fake news either, because I get it from good sources. Except those sources are apparently trying to fight me for ads right now.
So, anything else you kind of want to touch on from the Paris, from this news event? Or do you, because honestly, the biggest one for me is Last of Us Part 2. I'm not super privy on a lot of these other franchises that are coming out. But
some minor like highlights that came out during that week was that Nintendo Switch's Rocket League has finally got a release date for November 14th. We finally got the confirmation that what was the other thing? No, wait, that was we already talked about that. Visceral Games getting officially shut down, and there was a comment that someone had, or the Xbox owner had put in, saying how they had to make this decision, that a lot of companies do this, blah blah blah, but whatever. But we don't need to talk about that. The last couple minutes I'd like to cover is talking about Nintendo, talking about Mario Odyssey that just came out, and the fact that this game sold 2 million copies in 3 days, which is astounding, which is in similar numbers to a fairly extremely successful AAA title game. So safe to say, I think that we're in a good spot right now for Mario Odyssey. And you said you played it, so
yep.
Give me some taste. I played it too. I want to hear what you said first, though.
I seriously think that if I put a little bit more time into it, I think it will become my favorite, and it just all around the best 3D Mario title. It has so much to offer. It looks gorgeous, which most people usually levy that whole argument of, ooh, it's on a Nintendo system. It's not going to have that great of graphics compared to, Microsoft or
cool.
Sony.
Glad you guys didn't want to sell the Breath of the Wild or Wind Waker HD or see anything from Mario 3D Land. Come on, guys.
No, the Switch has some very beautiful games on it, and Super Mario Odyssey is definitely the cream of that crop. I just love the way it looks and the level design. It is a fantastic game. I take it your opinions are similar?
Ideally. I can just elaborate a little bit further. What I loved about it was that it felt to me what it was like to play Super Mario Sunshine back in the day, and more importantly to me, Super Mario 64. It felt like that true 3D realm adventure that just felt right. And that's what I was really hoping was going to come out of Odyssey. And based on other people's opinions that I've heard too, it's just really, it's a game that was constructed properly to be able to construe the successes of what they had done in the past. So again, like I said before, Mario Sunshine, even Galaxy, Mario 64, and just like to put what they put together in that slew of things, it to me is something that I'm really happy that they were able to do successfully.
Yeah, I feel like it takes the best parts of Super Mario 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, and then just innovates with a whole bunch of new twists to tie all of those influences, like all of those elements together into a really stellar game.
Yeah, and I'll just say I can't wait to continue playing it. I really hope that I get a Switch sometime soon. I've been playing it on a few of my colleagues' systems, and it's safe to say I really enjoyed the fact that I can play as a dinosaur now. That's a great thing.
You can play as a dinosaur, as Goombas, as a lot of different things. It's very interesting.
Yeah, the dinosaur part's just, to me, I'm a simple guy sometimes, and that's definitely a simple thing that makes me go,
well, and like, we're not talking about Yoshi here. We're talking about a T-Rex.
We're talking about a legitimate dinosaur right there.
When did you ever think you'd see that?
I was waiting for the Yoshi title that you're going to play as Yoshi's mom, to be honest with you. But Yoshi! And then it was going to be a giant Yoshi, and then it was going to be like a dinosaur. Yeah, anyway. We're not here to talk about my Mario fantasies. Nintendo, next thing we got before we close for today is talking about the Nintendo Switch projection to potentially outsell the Nintendo Wii U within a year. Let's put this in perspective, shall we? Nintendo announced recently today, based off of their numbers, that they have sold 7.63 million Switch units worldwide since its release. That's a lot. Back in July, Nintendo said it expected to sell a total of 10 million during the current fiscal year, which runs from April 1st through March 31st of 2018. As part of its earnings report, Nintendo updated its projections, saying it actually would rather sell 14 million Switches, so an increase of 4 million based off their last projection that came out from it, not counting those sold back in March during the previous year. So to put that in perspective, in the fiscal year, they'll sell 14 million. The Wii U has sold 13.56 million units since its release in November 2012. So safe to say that I think Nintendo finally made a good console, and that the Wii U really was not as good as we thought it was.
The Wii U was a commercial failure, and I did buy a Wii U. I will admit to that. Long after it first came out, and I did come to the conclusion that, sadly, it was probably the worst system I've ever bought, just due to the fact that there wasn't a lot of good third-party support for it. A lot of the first-party games were just things that you would buy anyway.
It was just like, get the Smash 4, get Mario Kart, and like
maybe Mario Maker if you're into that.
Mario Maker, yeah, and like that was it.
It wasn't anything really groundbreaking, and even to me, the tablet control I didn't really like all that much. I mean, it wasn't bad, but let's put it in
perspective. Hyrule Warriors and the performance lapse that you had playing on the tablet. If you were playing on the TV, it just sucked for your whole experience. So that's something to keep in mind.
It didn't really have a true variety of killer apps. Like, if you look at the Wii, you had Wii Sports that was very popular. You had Brawl. You had the Twilight Princess. You had ports of good games like Resident Evil 4. On the Wii, and you had it's like Metroid games and stuff. All you really had on the Wii U was Smash 4, which again you could also get on a 3DS, so even then. And a few games here or there that were, the new Zelda game, whatever, the new Mario game, whatever. It just didn't feel that great. Like, you would end up only owning between 4 and, if even 4 games for the system. I only owned 3 games for it, and kind of wish I did own more, but I just wish more would have come out for it.
Well, people realized that this console was one that you could finally take portably and not be an inconvenient laptop, but rather you just get to enjoy the true vintage style of your old video games that you played for the Nintendo. I mean, people wanted to play Super Mario on like a high-res system. They wanted to be able to play what they do at home on the go. And this is what's allowed them to do it. Breath of the Wild on an airplane. Boom. Got it. Now we have Mario Odyssey on the plane. Boom. Got it. Smash Brothers. Probably going to come sometime soon. Boom. Playing it with friends. So there's a lot of key fundamentals that are to come by it fairly soon.
And it really is. I would have to say that it's not the worst console that's ever come out. I mean, the Virtual Boy and many other consoles would hold that honor. But I would say that for the specs it had, and for even some of the quality mainstream games like Smash 4 that were on it, it was probably the most disappointing console I've ever had. And that probably one of the most disappointing consoles that you'll ever see in the history of gaming. So I'm really glad the Switch is catching on. I'm really glad that the Switch has good quality games like Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, probably a Smash Bros. Game in the near future.
Well, you know that they just confirmed third-party native support for GameCube controllers, yeah?
Yes, and that will also go a long way.
That tells me a Smash is coming. I'm just telling you guys right now, a Smash is coming. Be patient, my young Padawans. It's coming.
It's coming.
Be patient, everyone. Well,
and do you know what else is coming to the Nintendo Switch?
What?
I believe it's a game called Rocket League.
Oh, I already talked about that.
Yes, but I want to hear this from you a little bit in more detail. How do you think it's going to play on the Switch? As an avid Rocket League player yourself, how do you think it's going to play?
Based off of current playtest results that we've heard from Psionic Studios, it sounds like it's going to be really good with its terms of input lag. It's going to try to be avoiding that gap between PC and next generation consoles like Xbox or PlayStation. So they're really going to try to push for that experience of what it feels like to play on a PC. So which is going to be a big plus, and hopefully they're going to be able to fulfill it for sure. And of course you have like a Mario and a Samus vehicle too, which I like.
Yeah, and it's also going to be great because, you're going to actually finally be able to take Rocket League with you on the go. I remember, and of course there's a little backstory. Sfernaday here and I went to the same college. That's how we met. And I would have my big gaming laptop with me almost every day. And whenever Sfernaday here got bored or had a few minutes, he would ask, hey, can I get on Rocket League on your computer? And he would just sit there over in the corner of our little mess hall playing Rocket League on my computer on this big hunking piece of equipment. Now, if he gets the Switch, he can do that a lot easier, have a lot easier of a time doing that.
You're so welcome for bringing up your rank 3 ranks above where it should have been at one time. Don't report me for boosting Psionic Studios. I love you. But anyway.
Yeah, I was secretly your alt account.
I already have one of those. You're my second alt account. You were my second priority.
Oh.
Well, anyway.
All by myself.
That's it for us today, guys. It has been a pleasure, as always, to fulfill your ears with gaming experience, gaming news, gaming content, wisdom, stature, intelligence, athleticism. Is Dr. Disrespect? No, actually, we don't do what Dr. Disrespect does because we're on the radio. We're more civil, apparently. So anyway, guys, it has been great as always. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at Level Up Weekly. Check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Level Up Weekly. And give us some support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Level Up Weekly. We just made an announcement that people who support us on Patreon will get an exclusive Patreon-only after show that we do together. It's called Level Up Dungeon Quest, which is going to be pretty hyped to say the least, because it's going to be involving Dylan and I sitting down, talking about some of our personal favorites, and really just kind of having a chill chat. We'll bring you guys in every once in a while who are Patreon supporters and give you guys some help here. So if you could throw it on $1, if you could throw it on $5 a month, you throw it on $10 a month, you're going to help us out. You get some sweet content. You throw it on $25 a month, we make a podcast for you. So with that being out of here, guys, Dylan, anything else you'd like to say?
Well, on the note of that, the podcast about you, of course, well, we did at the beginning of the show where, we were patting ourselves on the back. That could be you.
Exactly, guys. And with that, we're going to head out for the evening, guys. Tune in next week for your level up experience.